Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another rock and roll episode of Hollywood After Dark. It's March 14th, 2023, and tonight we're going to be talking about Quentin Tarantino and his last movie, question mark, underscored, question mark. Also, the Shazam II world premiere, Drowned Out by Rain, and a whole lot of other news, folks. It's, of course, Hollywood After Dark. You know what time it is. Let's fucking go. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Like I said, it's March 14th, 2023. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your movie talk is? It's here. It's here. It's Hollywood After Dark. It's where you should be. It's where you should be all the time. All right? So it's crazy, folks. Let's go ahead and do this. Oh, my God. I have to draw attention to this. Eyes only. I'm probably going to fall asleep 30 minutes into this neurodcast. Oh my God, are you okay? So I already hit the like. Well, that's a development I'm all down for. Not saying this is boring. I'm just very tired. Okay, I'm all like, I just started, buddy. I just started. What do you mean you're already falling asleep? My God, man. It is a thing. Anyway, James will be joining us here in a little bit. He's watching his night court, and then he's going to come in to help talk with us about the Quentin Tarantino news. There's other stuff to talk about before we get into that one. Donovan here says, almost forgot Mando is tonight. I didn't forget Mando is tonight, so we will be done by about 11:30, so I can go and watch it. Let's see. So how many cum jokes and hysterical saggy laughing are we in store for? Saggy is not coming on as far as I know. Cum jokes, I haven't thought of any. I'm fresh out of cum jokes, I'm just saying. So I haven't thought of any tonight. We'll see what happens with that, though. I know that there was a super from Ryan Hartwell right off the bat, so I just want to address that before we dive into everything here. Ryan dropping the $5. Thanks, buddy. Have you ever heard of Cinema Lab? This is an organization that helps revitalize and renovate local movie theaters. Patrick Wilson co-owns it. I did see like a brief headline today about Patrick Wilson. Like, it was like, this Hollywood celebrity is hoping to restore movie theaters. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't read it though. So that's my bad. Tonight was a bit of an off night. Well, actually, first let me address that whole thing there. So yes, the any celebrity that wants to revitalize cinema definitely is going to be a person that I'm going to support. All right. We're talking like local theaters need it. Now, I don't know if Cinema Lab is only operational in Los Angeles. I don't know that. I haven't read the article. I do need to check that out. But that being said, it is one of those scenarios where, you do want to see a lot of smaller theaters get renovated by people with the means to do it. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that, these celebrities should really probably push for. You know what I mean? I feel like that simply because what you've got is a world of people who are desperate to leave the house, to be fair. I think they're desperate to leave the house. I think in many ways people are desperate to get out there to kind of get back to normal. And part of that is entertainment, but we do fear small spaces, right? We kind of become a claustrophobic society as a result of that, a very isolated society. And if you've got the money, hell yeah. Like, look, man, one of my dreams has always been to own a movie theater. Like, I worked at a drive-in in San Diego for a very, very long time. And I would honestly love nothing more than to own that drive-in. That drive-in was a large part of my life in so many ways. And I would love nothing more than to own that theater and to operate it and to make sure that it lives on, that the legacy of the drive-in lives on, that new generations can enjoy it. But my God, if I was like, I would need like $20 million. $20 million most likely to be able to afford that, because the property value of that particular place is so valuable given its location that it just buying out the family that owns the property is just going to be insane. You need the money to do it. But hey, you know what? That's a couple acres of land in a highly, highly urbanized area of East County, San Diego. So obviously in those scenarios, things like that are going to happen. But again, I'd love to see what Patrick Wilson and other people come up to. That's one of the things, talking about Quentin Tarantino before we get into that. Tarantino owns the New Beverly Cinema, and the New Beverly Cinema is utterly fantastic. It's a great little place. They only do 35 millimeter films, like they only screen in 35 millimeter. So there's that. Jess here says play the lotto. Yeah, I know, right? Play the lotto, right? That's what it boils down to, is just play the lotto. So it is, obviously this particular situation, it would be good. It would be good to play the lotto. I definitely would be okay with that. I have no problem with playing the lotto. I just don't do it very often. I know they say you don't win if you don't play. I know that's true. That's kind of how these things work. Unfortunately, it requires a pretty decent investment, so to speak, in order to be able to get into that stuff, right? So, there's that, right? There's that. It's gonna be a hell of a thing. Let me see here. Sorry, I just got Jesus Christ, God, I've got to stop using Facebook. I just got like a notification, and it's like this woman I've never heard of sends me a friend request, and like all of her images are just her like showing off her ass, like, hi, I'm a real person on the internet. Girl, no, you ain't real at all. You fake as shit. This is why I hate Instagram. I said this earlier. I don't think there's anyone who's realistic on Instagram anymore. I really don't. And that has a lot to do with the fact that so many bots are out there now, and there's some problems. There's some problems with all that. So, all right, you know what it is, folks. You know what I want to talk about tonight. First off, because there's a lot to get to. There's a lot that is going on today. The first one that I think is going to be really interesting to kind of touch upon. Let me see if I just have that particular. There we go. Let me just get that up there. All right, we've got ourselves an announcement. Actually, a home. Home video, physical media. What really, honest to God, feels like a rarity in today's world. We have found out that The Last of Us is going to be arriving on 4K UHD Blu-ray this July from Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. This particular set will contain over 3 hours of special features, including 3 brand new featurettes, which is awesome. I am making my way through the show. I have about 2 episodes left to go. It's just been difficult to get to that. I was going to watch it tonight, but I had to watch Waxworks and watch that, which is a fun movie. I had to watch that, got that watched. Now I got to record my thoughts on it for Patio commentary. That'll be coming out tomorrow or Thursday. But so anyway, The Last of Us, man. I love this show, love the game, love the world, love that it's blowing up in the way that it is. The coolest thing about The Last of Us, though, is that it's fucking 4K fucking physical, god fucking damn it. Disney, Iger, are you listening? Although, to be fair, so there's something I saw floating around. I didn't save it or like screen cap it or whatever, but there was something that I saw floating around that I thought was really interesting. And that was a report that had mentioned that it was potentially going to be happening where Bob Iger was going to start reinvesting into physical media. Like, they've got to figure out another way to get a solid revenue stream. And by, pulling back on physical media releases, obviously the idea there was to keep it in the vault, the Disney Plus vault, in order to get people to come on over. But again, people will buy physical media and still have Disney Plus. All things considered, we got to get that, man. What do you mean, which version? I watched the movie. Is there multiple versions of I just watched the movie, so I don't know which one it is. Taylor here says, I think the TLOU is 4K only or 4K Blu-ray combo. It might be, but then again, I'm fine with that. I think they'll release it on DVD, considering the fact that DVDs sell. DVDs absolutely sell. There's a lot of people who absolutely kind of who buy DVDs, to be fair. So that's that. That's definitely going to be up my alley for things that I want to get my hands on, things that I want to purchase, and things that I simply want to just enjoy the ever-loving ass out of. And so another thing that happened today that was really, 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 really interesting is that as we get closer to the release of John Wick Chapter 4, there are some conversations happening about the future of the franchise, whether or not we're going to get John Wick Chapter 5, or it's going to go on and on. I know Ballerina's coming. There is supposedly the Continental show that's been talked about forever. Obviously, that's, what's going to be happening with that franchise. But what about the main storyline here? Well, Chad Stahelski, who has been busting his ass for years to work on John Wick movies, says that they're going to give John Wick franchises a rest after the fourth film releases, saying, "I'm sure the studio has a plan. If everyone loves it and it goes kooky, well, then we'll have to take a quiet minute." Obviously they're going to want to spend a little bit of time. These movies have been around now since, oddly enough, weird to say, 2014, October 2014 is when it came out. And, it's definitely blown up into a massive fan base, a massive, massive franchise. This movie is clocking in at nearly 3 hours long. The early reviews that we looked at, basically said, yeah, hey, it's a John Wick movie. Yeah, it's a John Wick film. You know what you're getting into. There's a lot of that there. Ralph's Double Tits here says IGN gave it a 10. I heard Grace Randolph didn't care for it. I mean, again, we know not to give Grace Randolph any kind of situation, any kind of attention for the most part, or valid attention, I should say. But, I heard she didn't really care for it. I'm like, did it star Jessica Chastain? Was there a woman in a lead role? I don't know. That's Grace for you these days. You never really know. You never really know what's going on with Grace Randolph. It's just one of those scenarios, folks. You don't know if Grace is going to like it or not like it. Then again, who gives a shit what Grace Randolph likes or doesn't like? It is, again, who cares what even I like or don't like? Who cares about any of that stuff? All that matters is you definitely want to go and make sure you check it out yourself. And speaking of checking things out yourself, God damn it, you guys. Apparently, you all need to get on the Mandalorian Season 3, because according to the Bespin Bulletin here, they're saying here that the Mandalorian Season 3 viewership reportedly lower than Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Book of Boba Fett. Now, look, we all know, I have to just say this, we all know this 100%, that you got to watch out for this kind of crap, because you got, these stories are kind of whatever, okay? These stories are kind of whatever, all right? But you got to remember, folks, that a lot of people are going to very much watch the show, okay? Not everybody has a Samsung television hooked up to Samba TV. Not everybody out there is a Nielsen member. Not everyone out there watches on their televisions. In fact, a lot of people watch on their PlayStations, their Xboxes, their mobile devices, their, who knows, maybe a Nintendo Switch, maybe an old school PSP, whatever. Apparently, there's a lot of that. So let's take a look here into this, okay? So after the 2-year wait, The Mandalorian returned to the small screen 2 weeks ago with its third season to fans' delight. The first episode was well received by fans and critics alike, but one question that had yet to be answered was how the third season was faring against past Star Wars series on Disney Plus content in general, in terms of viewership. Well, that question has been answered. See, here's the thing, right? Again, it's like the fucking new episode dropped. It felt like there wasn't, like, there was promotion, but it felt like there wasn't like a lot of promotion for it. Like they kind of scaled it back. Okay, they have like they've I feel like they've kind of scaled it all back. All right. But it's also like, again, look, I'll be fair with you guys. I love Mando, obviously. I love, Boba Fett had its problems, but overall I enjoyed it. If I had to suggest something, if I had to make a claim, this is a bit of a bold claim, but if I had to make a claim, I would say that it's entirely possible that what we're seeing here is a result of Andor being so fucking good that people are like, wait, we want more Andor. Maybe we're kind of over this Mandalorian thing for the minute because Andor was so amazingly good. Now, as I've pointed out before, in 2022, out of the top 10 Disney Plus originals that are on there, right, Number 1 was The Simpsons. That was the most watched, followed by Bluey. Those are the 1 and number 2. Number 5 was Book of Boba Fett. Number 6 was Andor. Kenobi wasn't even on there, right? Kenobi wasn't even on there. She-Hulk made it into the bottom, I think 9 or 10 or whatever. Like, She-Hulk had more viewers than Kenobi. Something about Kenobi turned people off, right? But Andor really brought a lot of them in, all right? I'm just saying, like, you got to give it a little bit of time here, but this is what it is. According to The Wrap, and of course, Samba TV, everyone's favorite. Did you guys know that according to Samba TV, 1.8 million people watched Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max during its opening weekend? Remember that? Remember that ditty from literally 2 fucking years ago? All right, Samba TV, which again, they require, their metric is used by looking at data pulled from Samsung televisions. All right, I'll tell you what I want to hear. I want to fucking hear what TCL televisions pull in. All right, what Roku televisions pull in. That's the data I want to hear, because those televisions, especially TCL, I guarantee you are in far more homes than Samsung televisions, simply because of the affordability and the accessibility. When you go to Walmart, goddamn, I can't even have that thing highlighted. It looks like terrible on the show. But anyway, you guys know how it is. Go to Walmart, go to Target, go to Kmart, go to Costco. I mean, like, they got TCLs, man. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Like, they're affordable. You know, they're the new Acer, the new Apex, all that shit. Like, they are affordable televisions. And so Samsungs, which I do believe have better quality. I mean, I own a Samsung myself that I love. But I also have a 49-inch TCL Roku. That's our main TV in the house. The Samsung is my TV, but I don't watch that much Disney Plus on there outside of what I want to watch. Disney Plus would get watched a lot more by my kids who watch it on the other TV. So if we had it set up, you know what I mean? Like, in my household, and they were gauging all that data, they would only look at what the adult watches versus what the kids watch, which is ridiculous. It's stupid. It's moronic. It's remedial with a hard ass R is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? James here says that shaky camera lightsaber duel was the final nail in the coffin. Yeah, they should have probably reshot all that. To be fair. To the Samba fans, who the fuck cares? Thank you for joining my TED Talk. Exactly. Anyway, moving on here. So what it says here is that the latest season of The Mandalorian premiere over the course of 7 days. Based on unique viewers and not minutes watched, viewership was 28% lower than their biggest Star Wars series to date, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and fell short by a slithering 2%. Fell short by a slithering 2% behind the book. God damn, I hate when people write like that. Behind the Book of Boba Fett. As for Disney Plus as a whole, Loki remains the most watched season premiere. Yada, yada, yada. Again, Samba TV. Okay. Now, it does say here that Disney Plus doesn't give those information. It doesn't give those numbers. It won't give those numbers until the end of the year, most likely. But they do look at third parties like a Samba TV or Plum Research to share data, which won't entirely be accurate. Okay. So it says here, Mandalorian Season 3 viewership down, reportedly lower than Kenobi and Book of Boba Fett. Okay, reportedly. Then down here it says, well, yeah, the data, which won't entirely be accurate, right? Oh, how many paragraphs down is this? Let's just look at this here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs into the article, it says, well, it may not be potentially accurate there, folks. Well, there you have it, folks. Oh my gosh, it may not be potentially accurate. This is the whole thing with this shit, right? But people read the headline and they're like, what do you mean people aren't watching Mandalorian? No, it's gonna be massive. It's fucking gonna be massive and shit, right? So the thing I can't stand about a lot of these kind of articles, they're just kind of ridiculous. Yeah, basically, as Ralph Stubbletits here says, it's a BS report only made to get clicks. I mean, like, it's a report, right? But you gotta remember, man, when people are desperate for data, when people are desperate for all that stuff, they will absolutely like lump onto it. You know what I mean? They'll glom onto whatever. It's one of the reasons why Nielsen is still somewhat like, I don't even want to say respected. I think people are more or less forced into it, rather than not. You know what I mean? Like they need some data there. But Nielsen does have access to this stuff, right? H-Barts for a $2 super thanks, buddy, says, we will dance, we will sing, we will drink RJ 2023. Yes, we will. Ralph Subletizer says, RJ believed this article. Yeah, we can talk about something else RJ believed here in a hot second, actually. We can talk about this because there was an article earlier today. I should still have it. There we go. Let me just make sure I get this up on screen. So the article is coming in from Variety, and it's telling us, we're going to talk about Shazam 2 for a hot moment, that the Shazam Fury of the Gods is aiming for a $35 million opening weekend domestically this weekend, right? And that is something that is like, you know, it ain't great. It ain't great. Let's be fair. It's absolutely not great at all, but you know, it's kind of to be expected. It's been 4 years since the last movie. Warner Brothers didn't have the money to market it as much as they should have marketed it, and it's definitely something that is up for discussion. But I have to do something real quick here because I totally forgot to do this at the beginning. If you are a channel member and you want to ask a specific question, head over to the community page for the HWAD Squad Unplugged section. That's our mailbag. We'll be answering questions there at the end of the show tonight. There's a couple questions. Sorry, 14. Jesus Christ, you guys. So check that out. Go over to the community page right now. Ask your question if you're a channel member for that. That's my pitch. Okay, sorry. Had to get that out of the way. So let's take a look here at this particular article because I want to know what they're going to say. So it says here that Shazam Fury of the Gods is expected to take home the box office crown from Scream 6 when the superhero sequel opens in theaters over the weekend. But don't expect Billy Batson and company to break any DC franchise records. Goddamn, Rebecca Rubin, you're already poisoning the well. Don't expect Billy Batson and the Shazam family to break any DC franchise records. Jesus fucking Christ, lady. God, the doom and gloom with these people these days, right? This is the thing. Without fuckers like this is my biggest problem with media, right? Everything is, and I get the whole framed as a negative and whatever. I did a YouTube short the other day about Chris Rock, his special, and Will Smith boycotting it, and that goddamn thing just crossed like 103,000 views in like 4 days. It's not slowing down. It's several thousand views an hour. People click on that kind of shit. Unfortunately, it sucks. Anyway, the Shazam sequel is aiming to collect a so-so $35 million to $40 million from 4,000 North American cinemas between Friday and Sunday, based on early estimates. Unless the Warner Brothers film seriously crushes expectations, inaugural ticket sales will fall significantly short of its pre-pandemic predecessor, Shazam. The first film, which introduced the world to Zachary Levi's comic book character, who becomes a hero by saying the magic word Shazam. God damn, Jesus Christ. You don't kind of... Oh my God, sorry. Opened to $53.5 million and ended its box office run with $140 million domestically and $366 million globally. Like the original, the sequel cost $100 million to produce. That's a lot of money, of course, but it's significantly less than recent DC installments like Black Adam and the Suicide Squad, which carried price tags between $185 million and $200 million, and thus required a lot more coinage to turn a profit. Okay. So that's the thing with this, right? So Shazam just domestically is looking to pull in $35 million. And obviously that ain't great, but that's according to Variety. Deadline, on the other hand, throws up a little bit different of a metric. And they say that Shazam Fury of the Gods is tracking to make $85 million worldwide in its opening weekend, right? So that's not as bad. Now, granted, look, we all know this. All right. We all know that when it comes to, worldwide, it's not as much of a take home as domestic, obviously, but that gives it some good, a good bump going out there. And with any luck, because it's really the only family film coming out until Mario, it might have a chance to do better. Now, Eyes Only says here, the last Shazam didn't even beat Black Adam. That's actually probably not entirely true, considering the fact that Black Adam had a budget twice the amount of Shazam and only pulled in like 30 million more than Shazam did worldwide. So just looking at that specific situation, it's going to be a little bit different. HWAD's here asking, will this mailbag be more structured than a Madman mailbag? I can't tell you what's going to happen. All I know is I'm going to be answering. It's going to be, yeah, I'm not going to be, it's going to be me answering questions. Obviously, it's going to be quicker. So there's that, yes. So it will probably be more structured. Ray here says, I pre-ordered my Shazam tickets. Damn, that's good. Thank you. I'm going to go see it too. Maybe not Thursday, but I'm going to try to go see it this weekend. There's so much I have to watch still. Like, there's so much I have to watch. It's just finding the time, man. You know, with any luck, my child, because remember I said yesterday, my kid got sent home from, they told me that she couldn't come back to school until she stopped having diarrhea. She had one messy poop and they were just like, she might have the COVID. No, she's fine. She's fine. We're going in the morning, but it's just like, Jesus Christ, there's still so much to watch. They'll definitely do that. Now, Ryan here says, I'm probably going to watch the Shazam sequel. I love the first one, so I'll probably see this one too. Exactly, man. Exactly. The Shazam was a great movie. I think it's developed a fan base, on HBO Max and home video and whatnot in the interim, the last 4 years. And with any luck, people out there will enjoy it. So we did get this little thing today. James Gunn was heading over to go and see the premiere with his wife and some friends. They were getting ready to head over there. It says, on our way to the Shazam movie premiere, although you can notice the rain that was right there on the side of the limo. And yeah, it was pouring down rain while they were at the premiere. It was pouring down rain. And what's really, really funny about that is our buddy, our pal, our homie, Caden, actually went to go see it. Caden went to go see it. He was posting images from inside the theater, hashtagging it Shazam Fury of the Gods, which I thought was pretty funny. And he says here, he's given his review. This is Hollywood After Dark affiliate, associate, friend of the show, Caden, saying here, Shazam Fury of the Gods was shamazing. Another well-done Shazam movie from Pony Smasher and the Shazam crew. Rachel Zegler killed it. And G. Grazer Official is a standout for me. Zachary felt like a superhero. Adult Billy way more this time around. Going on to say, kind of bummed we might not see the Shazam family again. Dame Helen Mirren is fantastic. Lucy Liu is menacing and is a great villain. The chemistry between the daughters of Atlas is spectacular. Love the story of family and what really makes a person a hero. You just got to highlight that amount right there. What really makes a person a hero. And you have to love that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing I really enjoyed about Shazam. It was definitely different. It was definitely something that felt out of the realm of DC for what they were going for the time. This, of course, is following, Aquaman. And this is before Birds of Prey, before Wonder Woman 84, before The Batman, before a lot of those things. And it's just kind of crazy. Now, here's the problem. Okay. I'm going to talk about something that I saw today that I have to say, I have to bitch about. I have to bitch about this. I have to complain about this because when we talk about bad faith actors, which we do talk about a fair amount here on the show, right? We bring it up quite often. Bad faith actors happen all the time. And we know that people do this because they need to find a way to make money. They need to keep the grift. They need to keep up the ruse. They need to keep everything like that, okay? This is a real fucking headline from our old ex-pal Mikey Sutton over there at geekositymag.com. Says Warner Brothers tries to fool Snyderverse fans into watching Shazam 2. What kind of eye-rolling, small dick energy argument is this? Right? It's so petty. Like, and I can be a petty motherfucker. That is not even a problem for me. I can go petty quite easily. But my God, how much of a grifting piece of human filth covered dog shit individual do you have to be in order to sit there and go, Warner Brothers tries to fool Snyderverse fans into watching Shazam 2. Now, obviously it's meant to bolster clicks. It's meant to bolster people to read the article, and we'll take a look at it. We'll give it a fair shake, as we always do. But The idea there also is that you're going to click on the advertisements and you're going to make him a little bit of money. You're going to make him a little bit of pocket change, a little bit of jingle jangle in the coin purse, you know? But the thing is, Mikey, at this point, his coin purse is empty. It's just a deflated sack of flesh, right? There's nothing there. There's no oomph, no pizzazz. It's just petty to sell bullshit to a dwindling audience of rubes, buffoons, and easily led to slaughter morons. But why go against the company? That's what I don't understand. Why always just go against it? What the fuck did Shazam ever do to deserve the kind of ire? They did the same thing a year ago. They did the same thing a year ago when calling out The Batman, right? A movie that went on to gross $770 million, but it didn't make as much as Batman v Superman. That did $850 million worldwide, but the Batman only did $770 because nobody wanted to see Trash Man Riddler. Meh. Right? Oh, remember all that stuff? Remember that nonsense? All that little fucking you know, all that shit. Never mind the fact that the Batman on its own still made more than Justice League. You're gonna forget that little fucking piece of information, aren't you there, buddy? You know, it's just fucking ridiculous. Anyway. H-Bart's asking, how many years do you think the Snyderverse has left? Fuck if I know, dude. Too many. Should be already dead. What really sucks is because, like, again, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see that continue. I've made no bones about that. 100% want to see it. But man, the pettiness of this, right? Now it's like written by Kieran Bug and Mikey Sutton. This is Mikey. This is just Mikey. All right, let's take a look here at what he has to say. Oh, by the way, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to do this here. If you have to go to Geekosity Mag, uBlock or AdBlock is your friend. Don't do it mobily. You can't even read the site. It's just nothing but adverts, right? Because he lulls you in with these bad headlines and then just bombards you with advertisements because that's what they do. So, you know, I'm just saying, I don't normally recommend that, but if you want to read it, you have to. It's kind of it's sad. It's sad that he has to resort to such petty bullshit in order to make a coin. Anyway, Warner Brothers has a hook to reel in Snyderverse fans to see Shazam Fury of the Gods. It won't work. In fact, it could backfire on the studio in a major way. They took a page from the Black Adam marketing plan. Remember Henry Cavill's post-credit cameo? No, there's no Cavill Superman here, not even a headless one. Nevertheless, it's another Snyderverse cameo. This time, though, they're throwing it in your face. The DC crowd is polarized. The Snyderverse has strength in numbers, bought and paid for, obviously. Warner Brothers wants to attract their attention. They won't hide this one like Cavill and Black Adam. They need to trigger interest in a DC adventure that is tracking horribly. Though the Snyderverse has no future at Warner Brothers, they have nothing to replace it with yet. Therefore, Warner's throws Snyderverse fans a bone. Okay. With the release date literally around the corner, Warner Brothers has finally started advertising the upcoming Shazam sequel. TV spots are now airing pretty much everywhere you look. Nonetheless, it could be too late to make a difference at the poor box office projections. To the general public, though, they might think that Wonder Woman has a supporting role. She doesn't. They could be seriously let down. If you don't think that that's a cameo just based upon even what you see in the trailer, I mean, like, come on, man. What the fuck is this framing? It's ridiculous. Despite all the positive buzz from critics who've already seen the movie, anticipation remains at an all-time low, mainly because of the drastic change of course DC is underway or under newly appointed co-CEOs James Gunn and Peter Safran. By the way, Shazam Fury of the Gods was greenlit under Walter Hamada. It was filmed under Walter Hamada, and it got delayed under Walter Hamada. So it's like, again, you know, trying to sit there and say that the DC fan base is at an all-time low because of fucking James Gunn and shit. This is all previous regime crap. Like, what the fuck do you want? In addition to controversy over Zachary Levi's blaming of director Zack Snyder for the DCEU's lack of success hasn't helped. Again, I just like to look at this here because that's not what he says, right? Again, we'll look at this here, okay, right? We brought this up a while back here. Zachary Levi blames Snyderverse for DC's past failures. Okay, right? I just like to go back to this. So he says here, I would say just be patient. Give him some space and some time to try to really make something special. I think it's something DC deserves to have. It's something that Zack Snyder tried and just didn't ultimately materialize. That's not throwing it under. It just didn't ultimately materialize. How is that attacking the fan base, right? How is that blaming Zack Snyder for the lack of success? Zack tried, it didn't materialize. That's not blaming Zack Snyder. That's just talking about the business as a whole. This is the thing I really fucking hate about where Mikey has gone. It's so disingenuous. It's ridiculous. It's, again, I'm just going to use the term remedial with the hard R because I can't use the other word that I want to use. Because, fun killers and shit. But anyway, it's just dumb. Right? It's just so stupid to sit there and go, oh, he blames Zack Snyder for the DCEU's lack of success. No one blames Zack Snyder, man. Right? But Mikey has to maintain that nonsense. He has to be negative. He has to be passive aggressive. He has to be petty. He has to be everything he wasn't when I first met him. Everything he wasn't when I first met him. Supposedly. I think he put on a fucking show, to be honest with you. Right? It's just use the word. It's the R word. Yeah, regarded. There you go. It's regarded. Anyway. It's just fucking goddamn it. All right. So, and that's really about it right there. Again, this is written by Mikey. Kieran has got the co-headline on it, but this is clearly written by Mikey. Again, the Geekosity Mag, I'm pretty positive is on its way out the door, but I have no way of knowing that. When you have to write crap like that, you are just trying to get in the Facebook algorithm there. Plus, you here says, we are the positive Snyder movement. I know, right? I know they are. Remember what I showed you guys the other night, right? Remember that video clip I showed you guys the other night about what Mikey was saying about their store, about the hashtag sells ESJL to Netflix, right? Remember all that? Like how much gaslighting it was, how terrible it was. That's exactly what it is. Anyway, though, I want to move on from that because there's still some more to get to. But what we'll do is we will take a look here at we'll do a couple questions from the HWAD Squad Unplugged. I'm gonna make a graphic for this, by the way. So we'll take a look, a couple questions in between right now. Channel members, real kind of rapid fire them. Reed here says, do you want more D&D movies if Honor Among Thieves does well? Can't wait for the movie. I mean, I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, to be honest, Reed. I have never tried it. I've never attempted it. There was one time I was getting close to trying it, but it never materialized. That being said, yeah, man. I like dumb fantasy. I do. I like silly fantasy. I like high fantasy. We can have Lord of the Rings and Dungeons and Dragons coexist. Fantasy is a very big marketplace and a very big world, so I'm okay with that one. My channel here, thank you, says, as someone who saw every single MCU movie since Iron Man in theaters multiple times, including Thor 2, up until Endgame, I'm feeling fatigued and can't even work myself up to give any new MCU movies a chance. Do you have any suggestions to combat this? I want to enjoy the MCU, but haven't gotten into anything outside of the TV shows since Endgame. All right, so the TV shows are definitely building towards what the next Endgame is going to be, right? The Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars, all that kind of stuff. I understand that, and I would say take it in stride. If you have to take time off and then you just can't get into the movies, just wait for them to come to Disney Plus, because you know what? They're not going to stop making the movies. They're a juggernaut. They are a juggernaut. And a lot of other people out there are going to be into them and they're going to go see them. What I would say is, if you are now at a point where you can pick and choose. All right. You are now at a point where you can largely pick and choose. So just pick the ones you want to see. And then if you can go see, if you can get hyped up. Or here's the thing. Here's another thing I recommend. And I recommend this quite literally for anybody. If you want to figure out the best way to start really diving into this stuff, what I would say is find a friend locally that you can go see movies with. Okay, that you can go see a movie with and have a good conversation and things like that. At that particular point, that's your best course of action. I would say try that, or just pick and choose, man. Either way, look, fatigue. If you need to take a break, take a break. Trust me, it's all good. Thank you, though. Now, Music Man here, thank you, says, what are your thoughts on Paul Schrader's take on the Oscars and how come there's never been a live-action Batman TV series? I'm not sure what Paul Schrader said about the Oscars. I don't know much about Paul Schrader in general. As for another live-action Batman TV series, again, I don't know either. I don't know why they wouldn't have done it. It is possible. this is just my thoughts. It is possible that the animated series was simply just too popular. They didn't want to take away from that. So I have no idea what's going on with that one. But anyway, it could be a lot of fun to see them do something live action like that. Anthony here says thoughts on Shazam 2 only cost $100 million. We did talk about that. Thank you for that one, Anthony. Also, do you agree that Paul Walker was the heart of the Fast and Furious franchise? Yes, I do. Paul Walker's death physically bothered me. Like, I felt it for a weeks afterward. I was so bothered by it. You know, it really got to me when it happened. And then even so going into Fast 5 or Fast 7, I was largely nervous because of how they had to wrap it up. So yeah, I don't quite know on that one there. All right. Zachary here says, yesterday I found a weird ass video on Twitter. I tried sending it to you, react to, it had Kirby in it. I try to avoid the Nintendo stuff if I can, only because the Nintendo stuff, they're really hardcore on copyright. So there's that. Anthony here brings up another question. What about the Robert Pattinson may not be able to appear in the Penguin series? That's actually a topic for today. We're going to get to that when James gets here, because we're going to talk about a bunch of different topics when James gets here. Spherical Man asking, what would you say brings you functional joy in life? And Ash is curious about that as well. So functional joy is a weird thing, I think, right? Because I think it kind of ebbs and it flows. Largely for me, and this is 100% true, I love getting hyped up over a movie. I do. I love talking about them. I love getting excited. It is very difficult to do that in today's day and age, so to speak. You know, like I just watched Waxworks before going live tonight. I finally had the chance to sit down to watch it, and it was a fun movie. It was definitely like I had some problems with like the pacing and some of the stuff here and there, but there were some legitimately cool things in that freaking movie, and I'm looking forward to talking about it. That brings me functional joy. Part of the problem that, again, and this is where it comes on the other side of that, is that I start to look at things through the lens of like, you know, the YouTube algorithm, which is such a debilitating thing. The YouTube algorithm just destroys my mental health in many ways, because it's like, I think I put out something interesting and engaging, but building an audience that's not centered around hate is very hard to do. So it's one of those scenarios. But all right. Okay. Oh, HBars, you sent me a DM about that. All right. Thank you, buddy. I'll take a look at that here in a second. But all right. So we do have joining us now, James of Small Screen. How's it going, James?
How's it going, man?
It's going good. You were here last night, and 2 nights in a row you're here.
Yeah. I'm a bit under the weather today.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I spent the day resting up because I kind of had a weird stomach thing. I was just playing the Outer Worlds. Have you ever played that one?
No, I heard of it though.
It's fun. It's basically Fallout. Because it's from Obsidian, who did Fallout New Vegas. It's effectively Fallout. Trust me, it's as cynical and nihilistic as Fallout is.
Nice.
Because there's like all these corporations run everything, and you go to this one town, and they're like, we need you to go to this geothermal plant, and so you start looking through terminals and getting the backstory on the plant. And you basically come to find out that the company that owns everything realizes that the town and the plant and the town's losing money. The plant is the only thing that's like somewhat making cash. So they send in a person to upgrade their mechanical robots. And basically at that point, the mechanicals go crazy and kill everybody. And they also take out a massive insurance policy on the plant, but they tell you, don't worry about that. Don't think about that. That's a standard operating procedure. So the way to kind of infer what happened is that the company, realizing that the money, that it'd be cheaper for them, better for them to just murder everybody and take out and collect the insurance money rather than find a way to make the area more profitable. That's the game. Like that's cool. That's like everyone out there. Like you talk to random NPCs and they're just like, they give you corporate slogans as you talk to them.
Nice.
It's definitely worthwhile.
I don't get to play games that much these days, but I do my Friday night streams on my personal channel, Metal Gear Solid 5. I appreciate you liking that tweet last week.
I was watching it with my kid, right? Because I was on the computer and my kid was watching their tablet, and I had it up on the TV, and we're watching you play Metal Gear Solid 5, and she's like, who's that? And I'm like, oh, that's my friend James. And she's like, I like James. I'm like, I
Oh,
do
that's
too.
nice.
He's a nice guy. And she's
That's
like, what's
nice.
he? And so she's like, but what's he? Is he killing those people? I'm like, no. He's capturing them. Oh, why isn't he killing them? Well, because he's capturing them, kid. He's trying. There's a whole thing with you can take him back.
Killing
to
is
your
the
base.
last resort.
Yeah, killing. Yeah. You don't want to kill this
Try
game.
try stealth first, and everything goes to shit. Then
Yeah,
boom.
then everyone dies. Right? It's kind of like playing a game of Hitman. You try it stealthily, and then when you fail, everyone dies every time. It's how it goes.
But I actually started playing Arkham City again today while I was not feeling well. I really like the waves of bad guys, and you have to do the fighting style strategy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. Arkham Origins did really good with that, with their 100 to 1. That was a lot of fun. So, yeah.
No, there's a.
Also, as you know, I have nothing to do with the content on Geekosity, but the ads aren't really that bad, Matt. That's something I'm proud of. They're not overbearing, overwhelming, especially on mobile. I think you just ham it up too much. Just had to say that.
What the fuck, bro?
It's true.
They're pretty bad. They're pretty
No,
bad.
they're not.
They're
There's
pretty.
no-
I will send you a screenshot. I will show a screen. I will bring it up right now.
Bring it up right now and go desktop.
On
Even on
mobile.
mobile. Yeah,
On
even
mobile.
on mobile, it's not bad.
God, it was pretty bad.
Bring up the
It's pretty
desktop
bad.
right now and share the screen and put it.
Fine. There, I'll go back.
Thanks, Ray.
I'll go back. All right. I'll turn it off. I don't like to use it if I don't have to, but I feel like I kind of have to. All right. So it's off now. I'll refresh the page.
Yep.
Okay. Look at that.
Scroll down.
That's
One.
I mean, it's
Dude.
readable.
Yeah.
But
but you keep saying it's unreadable.
It's unreadable on mobile.
No, it's
I
not.
stand by that. I stand by that complaint. I do. I stand by that complaint because it's like the mobile version of it is just like same kind of pop-ups happen. It's just like holy shit. It's like okay, I click okay, so I just went to the mobile, clicked on the first. I went to the website on Chrome. Okay,
Yeah.
on my phone. The Mike Shinoda debunks claims. Okay, whatever. All right. So I click on that, and then it brings up the click through. Right.
An interstitial
Advert.
ad. Yeah. That's
Okay.
That's Google.
Yeah, it's Google. And then it's like, okay, there's 1 ad, 2 ads, 3 ads, 4 ads. Okay, so it looks like there's the video ad that's popping up.
Including the video ad and the one on top, there's 6 or 7 ads. That's it.
Oh, man.
But like you can scroll twice with your thumb before encountering an ad when you're reading. When I set it up 2 years ago, that's how I did it because I hate sites with tons of ads.
I mean, it's okay. Like, I mean, the bottom ad is not.
Embellish.
Oh, no. Oh, there we go. There's the bottom ad. I was waiting for that one to pop up. So I've got a video ad right now. I mean, you can still technically like read it. It's just like, it's not unreadable. Fine. I'll rescind my claim. It's just annoying.
All ads are annoying, man.
All ads are annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, you should totally watch ads on my channel though, guys. Just saying, don't hit skip ad. Because if you hit skip ad, no one gets paid. That is true. I'd rather you just use ad block than skip ad because skip ad's like a fucking cock tease. Anyway. So you're not feeling well, but you wanted to talk about this Quentin Tarantino stuff. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, Tarantino, man. And Rodriguez had his hypnosis or hypnotize, whatever it's called, the premiere, a rough cut at SXSW during the Oscars. And it got rave reviews, but I mean, that's a safe place for him to premiere it. I only bring this up because Tarantino and Rodriguez met at the Toronto International Film Festival, right? Back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how their careers have taken different trajectories. I'm just hoping that Rodriguez's new film doesn't suck.
Well, I think it can be hit or miss, to be fair.
I don't think he's done anything really good except the season 2, episode 6 of Mandalorian.
What about Alita Battle Angel? That's a solid
movie.
I
still haven't seen that.
Dude, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
I don't know. I got to get past
the eyes.
I want to see him make something like El Mariachi or Desperado again.
Yes, I would love that too. I would even take Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Yeah, I saw that on my birthday, and I was just like, I was so disappointed when I saw it. I didn't like it, and then I watched it again later on. Okay, now I get it. now it's like supposed to be, it's not set in the real world like the first two were.
No, it's definitely more fantasy based, right? But I still love the line, "Are you a Mexican or a Mexican?"
Mexican, yeah, exactly.
I'm a Mexican because I'm a Mexican. I can do whatever the hell I want.
I enjoy the film and I'll watch it, but I'll prefer El Mariachi and Desperado. I think because I don't know, it's got a bit of the George Lucas effect. From Dusk Till Dawn is good, Donovan, but I mean that.
From Dusk Till Dawn is like really good though.
Yeah,
like
really.
Sorry,
I forgot it, but I don't consider that a pure Rodriguez movie because it's
okay. What about The Faculty?
Faculty's.
I mean, that's Kevin Williamson, right? I mean, writing that, coming right off of Scream, that was pretty big. Rodriguez directing. I mean, it had a great cast.
Yeah, but I don't remember much of it. So.
Oh, dude, I do. I remember like the fact that it opens with an Offspring song. Just like, yeah, right. You're like, all right, you're in for it. And then I remember like I was really excited that Danny Masterson had a cameo appearance in the movie. I was like, hide, when I saw it on home video, right? I was like, hide from that 70s show. Now I see it again and I'm like, hey, that guy's been accused of raping women. Yeah. That's not good.
Meanwhile, that 90s show is all about jokes about the kids having sex with the grandparents and adults. So
I like that 90s show though. I've come to appreciate Red a whole lot more.
My girlfriend and I watched it. We both enjoyed it. She really liked it, but I was just like, how many sex jokes between the kids and the adults is there gonna be? It just seemed very off-putting to me.
I mean, if you think about it, that kind of feels like a 90s afternoon special, right?
Well, my girlfriend was like, well, that's what the 70s show was all about. That's where most of the humor was. And I said, yeah, but it wasn't this blatant. So
I'm going to disagree.
Watch it again, man. Watch it again.
No, I mean, like, there's episodes where that's definitely the case, right? Like with the first episode where they introduced Lori, Eric's sister, Lisa Robin Kelly before she sadly passed away. And there's like the whole thing of her interaction with Kelso and then Kelso reinterpreting that as like her basically saying like, I want you to deep dick me right here. So there's a fair, the show dealt a lot with pot humor, more so probably than the sex stuff. But I think like it's, again, like weed has become such a non-taboo thing, right? But like teenagers and sex still kind of is. Maybe that's what they're going for. It's like, I don't know, maybe because in the 90s too, like raunch had gone kind of a different way. Like we had the 80s.
Dude, I watched that and I'm like, are they trying to reinforce the pedo Hollywood stereotype? That's what I got out of it. Wow, did I actually make Matt quiet? Or did we lose Matt? I think we lost Matt, everyone. Okay, so let's take it over to the comments. Matt better beat up Quentin for using race words in every film. Come on, M. Jarb. Mr. Tucker, it's a cool flick, but it's a cliche late 90s movie. Didn't think it was anything special. Assuming you're talking about The Faculty. Skywalker Brian. I don't know if we will ever get a Kill Bill Volume 3 and the long rumors for Zendaya as they grow up killer from Volume 2. Seems like a pipeline shot tonight.
They should have never...
Probably not. It'll probably be a graphic novel. Ryan Hartwell says the 90s was all about self-referential humor. Rational Skeptic says, Matt, should they bring back Married with Children? It's Mr. Toker says, as a stone, you can go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm here. I'm back now.
That's all right.
I'm back. It just, the StreamYard kind of glitched for a hot second there. Yeah, I would like to see Married with Children. That would be a difficult one to bring back, I think. I mean, I always kind of thought that the Unhappily Ever After was a solid take on that formula. Did you ever watch Unhappily Ever After?
No, but did you know that they did a TV movie for Law and Order?
No.
Yeah, and it happened after Mike, Mr. Big from Sex and the City, that guy, after he like punched a politician, and then he was like walking the beat on Staten Island. And then they did like a TV movie, and then a couple years later, he came back to the show.
Okay, and then didn't Mr. Big from Sex and the City also just get accused of like sexual misconduct, and he was fired off of the show, and they wrote him out?
Yep.
Or no, well, he died, and then like he died in the show again.
My sister was upset about that. She's like, "Oh, that really sucks."
They brought him back just to kill him off, and it's like, did they? Okay, I mean. I'd be more upset with because Kim Cattrall wasn't in it than I'd be about Mr. Big dying on a Peloton, but whatever.
Mando starts in 55 minutes.
Yeah.
Megan Mannix.
Yeah, a lot. What time? Yeah, Mando. We'll let you guys know when Mando's coming back. Don't worry. Don't effing worry, guys. It's gonna be a thing. So Mando ain't going nowhere.
Or you can just go watch Night Court. That's fine too.
The new one or the original?
Actually, I watched the new one. We watched it here, and it was pretty good. And then and my girlfriend had never seen the original Night Court, so I had to show her those, and we've been binging those every once in a while.
Oh, those are classic. Those are classic. I always enjoyed Night Court back in the day.
Same.
It sucks. Harry Anderson, man. That's all terrible. That's terrible. But all right, let's get into something that's also terrible, but in a completely different way than someone dying. Tarantino allegedly prepping his final film. Do you think this is going to be his last movie?
Well, if it is, he'll probably do like a mini series or two.
Probably, I could see him doing that.
Doing a mini series before,
and they did
write
turn
a bunch of books as well.
Yeah, and they did turn The Hateful Eight into a 4-episode miniseries on Netflix, which I admittedly haven't seen, that or the original.
Mm-hmm.
I actually haven't seen The Hateful Eight or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? It just like
you need to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I know, I have it. I have a copy. It's just like finding the fucking time.
You need to go watch it after Mandalorian.
I don't have that. That movie's like 3 hours.
You need to stay up and you need to watch it.
I have to take the children to school in the morning.
And be tired.
I'm always tired. I'm a father.
And then be double tired.
It's very difficult. I know I want to see it. It's like, how long? Really, though? How long is that fucking movie?
It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, let's see. Length. 2 hours and 40 minutes. I mean, that's doable, I guess, I mean, I could technically skip The Mandalorian and
I was going to suggest that as well. And stay off Twitter until you watch Mandalorian. Then.
Well, yeah, I guess that's going to be probably a big thing. Ray here says, I haven't seen Once Upon a Time either. Toker here says, what the fuck is wrong with you? And you have a copy, skip Mando and go watch it.
Definitely. I would, man.
I would. I mean, like, God, I don't know. I mean, like, I watched Inglourious Bastards. I can't even tell you how many times. Same with Django Unchained. Like
the whole reason why I got my dog Mando, okay, what put me over the edge to finally commit to getting a dog was after watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm like, yep, that's the kind of dog I would train. And my dog is pretty much like, when you see the movie, like, I don't even really give verbal commands to my dog. I just do. And then that's it. We don't even have to talk. I've been wanting a dog for a long time, and I finally put down roots here. And then that movie came out, and that solidified it for me. Sorry. Stumbling on my words a bit because I'm still not feeling good.
Yeah. No, I get it. I totally get it. It's
And my dog's name was Marco when I adopted him. And I'm like, I'm not having a dog named Marco. And then The Mandalorian was just out. So I'm like, okay, Mando's good. And that's an easy transition for him to learn.
When I got, we found 3 feral cats back in 2012, and we were looking to name them, and we named, we were watching Breaking Bad at the time, and so we were watching Breaking Bad, and
you named one of the cats bitch?
No, I named one of them Gus.
Oh, nice.
After Gus Fring, right? And I say, oh, I got like 5 cats. One of them's named, Gus, and people are like, oh, like the mouse and Cinderella. And I'm all like, no, like Gus Fring, fucking Giancarlo Esposito, man. Like, just, that was great. And, I mean, you name your animals after, things like that, I guess. Like, I
had a hamster named Oregano.
That's a unique name. I had a hamster named Hammy. Not really. I didn't really know what to name her because I found her. Like, I was driving home from a friend's house one night, and I'm turning the corner on this like side street, and I see this white like little thing shoot in front of my car. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I pull over and I look, and there's this hamster that was trying to scurry up the curb, and I just so happened, interestingly enough, to have a cage at home for some reason. I forgot why I had it, but I did. And I took her home and I had her for a couple years, until she passed away. And I was like, good, I gave this hamster life. She would not have probably survived the night.
Nice.
San Diego is dangerous at night, James. It's not like Canada. Anyway. All right.
My silence says it all.
Yeah, I know. So Toker here brings up, for those who don't know, Tarantino is a podcast called the Video Archives Podcast. Give it a listen. It's really cool.
It is.
He talks about, yeah, I've heard clips of it. I follow it on Twitter. I keep meaning to sit down and give it a listen. I know somebody does re-upload the episodes to YouTube. So that's pretty cool. And like I was telling you the other day, I got to find the article for it because I went looking for it. I can't find it now. But apparently they are looking at adding RSS feeds to YouTube. And that's going to be a game changer for podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
If you could use that as a hosting platform, like, my God.
Well, they're already, didn't they already implement where you can record your podcast on YouTube now? I saw that last week when I was setting up the show.
Through Anchor?
No, through YouTube. Some pop-up came up and said, now you can do your podcast on YouTube. And I'm like, dismiss, I'm too busy.
Yeah, I got to check that out. Cause I would totally just take this and then just have, if I could take this show and you just have it auto head over to like Spotify or whatever, and and not have to worry about it, that'd be absolutely wonderful. It would be, this is great. This saves me so much time.
It doesn't take me a lot of time to really rip our live show and then throw it up on Anchor.
No, it doesn't take a lot of time. If you know what you're doing, it's not so bad. Not so bad there. All right, so let's dive into this here. All right, so according to Variety, this is kind of taking from a Hollywood Reporter article saying that Tarantino is about to shop his 10th film project, which the director has long said will mark his final feature film. The Pulp Fiction mastermind is preparing to invite multiple buyers to read his latest screenplay in the coming days. One source familiar with the pending auction said. The Oscar winner is seeking a deal similar to the one he brokered for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The source added, this means a robust theatrical release commitment and ownership of the film's copyright. In the case of Sony Pictures and Once Upon a Time, the deal said the movie copyright would revert to Tarantino after 20 years. Is Tarantino even going to be alive in 20 years?
Oh, yeah. He's taking care of himself now.
That's good. The script reading process feels similar to the extreme security measures taken around Once Upon a Time, where studio executives had to schlep to the office of Tarantino's agent in Beverly Hills and read pages in a conference room. The protocols are put in place after a significant leak of The Hateful Eight. I remember when that happened. Yeah. He was pissed. Representatives for Tarantino did not immediately respond. Okay. The new film, the existence of which was first reported by THR, is apparently called The Movie Critic. The other sources cautioned that this was a working title and not final. The project has a female lead at the center, the report said, and could be based on the life of noted film critic Pauline Kael. Do you know anything about her? Pauline Kael?
Yep. Tarantino had mentioned her a few times a couple of years ago, and then I did a deep dive on her. I don't remember much, but
okay.
She's very influential.
Okay, so for years, Oscar winner Tarantino has expressed a desire to go out at the top of his game, saying many credible directors lose their luster later on in life. He did not outright claim retirement, though. While promoting his 2022 book, Cinema Speculation, Tarantino revealed plans to shoot an 8-episode television series. A subject, cast, or distributor has yet to materialize. Everyone would be chomping at the bits for that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone's going to be chomping at the bits to go into it, too, to act in it.
And so this is the wiki on Fat Larpo. Sup, my beard is the real rebel symbol. My beard is the real rebel symbol. Do you see that? You see that, James?
Yeah, I see it.
I totally that's me from 2006.
Oh, is it?
That's me from 06. God damn. Hold on here.
Dude, I'm so out of it. I didn't even register that it was a parody name. I'm just like, oh, that guy's name is Lat Farbo. Good for him with the rebel symbol.
Like good for that guy. Let's see. Hold on, I'll try to find it. If I could find it on, I looked it up exactly what it is on. God damn it, I can't find anything on YouTube anymore.
Why does it say Matt Jarbo believer? Were you on the news or something?
Was this yeah. This is a no. This is not the Star Wars premiere. This is. Let me see if I can. I gotta go and bring it up there. Oh God, I have to go find it manually.
Pauline Kael was an American film critic who wrote for The New Yorker from 1968 to 1991. Known for her witty, biting, highly opinionated, and sharply focused reviews, Kael's opinions often ran contrary to those of her contemporaries. One of the most influential American film critics of her era, she left a lasting impression of the art form. Roger Ebert argued in an obituary that Kael had a more positive influence on the climate for film in America than any other single person over the last 3 decades. Kael, he said, had no theory, no rules, no guidelines, no objective standards. You couldn't apply her approach to a film. With her, it was all personal. Yada, 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 yada.
All right. Well, I mean, that's an idea there. So, I mean, clearly, though, he'll take a more, what's the word I want to use here? He'll take more of a...
conflict.
Yeah. There'll be that kind of conflict. There'll be that kind of element to it. And
the ripples that she made.
Yeah, and it will have probably a fantasy element to it as well. Because he's like, again, I should say a fairy tale element to it. Remember in Inglourious Bastards, once upon a time in Nazi-occupied France.
Yeah.
So, and even like Kill Bill kind of like had a bit of that element as well. So that should be fascinating to see what it ties into.
Yeah, something Rodriguez really should have set up at the beginning of Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe the title was kind of a dead giveaway.
Yeah, I know the title, but same with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I mean, Once Upon a Time in the West is not really a fantastical film either.
Sure.
Right.
Have I ever seen that one? I don't know if I have. Maybe I haven't. I don't know. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen, James, and a lot that I have. And I was looking through. I was looking through Tubi tonight, and there's a lot that I want to.
Yeah, Ryan Hartwell says knowing Tarantino and his use of wit in his screenplays, he should excel at this. It's true, and he's obsessed with film critics in the history of film. So it's going to be great, I think.
It'll be very interesting to see what he comes up with.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I read this today, and my first thought was like, man, wouldn't it be great if it was a Jay Sherman movie? It stinks. Come on, you fucking know.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. That would be, dude. That would be the shit. If he's like, I worked a deal with James L. Brooks at ABC to do a movie about Jay Sherman, the real Jay Sherman. Fucking John Lovitz is coming in hot, baby.
That'd be hilarious.
I would be there to heartbeat, man. I mean, like, that's the thing I don't get. And all the reboots and all the remakes and all the reimaginings and everything else Hollywood is dying to do at this point in time. Why in the ever-loving shit have they not brought back the Critic? I mean, even Beavis and Butthead came back, and instead of making fun of YouTube videos or making fun of music videos, they're making fun of TikToks and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like, or internet stuff. And it's like, just, I mean, imagine like Jay Sherman just tearing into like modern film culture would just be, it'd be amazing. And
imagine him talking about the Snyder fans.
Oh my God, that'd be great. There we go. Oh God, here we go. Matt with a knife. I'm on the loose. Yeah, but you spelled loose wrong. No, you spelled it right. I'm an idiot. I'm on the loose. Anyway, yeah, that's a picture from when I found the knife in the car after it was stolen and flipped into a creek.
It's funny, like these guys are like parodying you, spoofing you, but they're also giving you money to get noticed. It's awesome.
That's capitalism, my friend. That is capitalism. But here, I'll show you what I'm talking about with the that Fat Lardo one, right? Yeah, the Fat Lardo one there. Because this was, I'll bring this up. This is terrible. All right. But this is what I made
Oh,
Back,
is this a
this
film
is a
you made?
documentary,
Oh.
a quote unquote documentary that we made back when I was in a documentary class, actually in school back in '06, I believe. So this is what we did.
Ghost stories, urban legends, tales that used to be told around campfires are quickly becoming a thing of the past. Even haunted houses are becoming extinct. But one such story and place still exists. This is the story of 5-5.
Minus 5 points for the voice already.
That's actually the editor. His name is Jeff. He actually now is a professional cameraman for a news channel out in New Mexico, I think. So like, he he was our editor on this. He just comes back. He's like, dude, I needed to come up with an intro, so I just recorded this and threw it in there. I had no idea, but I bust up laughing. So here's what is 5-5.
5-5 is a local hangout spot in Lakeside, California. I mean, it's supposed to be haunted. I don't know. Been out there a couple of times, had some creepy things happen to me, but I just don't know. I mean, it's been back there for a while. People have been going there for a long time. I heard about it from my brother, who told me stories about it. There's a couple of different origin stories, one of which is supposedly there were lynchings out there and everything else, and so as a result, the place is haunted. I mean, a lot of teenagers go out there every night and drink and do whatever, and some of us go out there just to be scared to death. It's a fun place to be.
Well, the reservoir may not look like much during the day. It becomes an entirely different entity at night.
Here we go.
This is what we got out here. This thing will burn ghosts in their tracks. Hopefully. If anything, we'll find out. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see anything.
So that's what we got. We got flashlights. And that's about it.
I'm ready to go hunting.
To get a better perspective, we ventured deep into the surrounding areas.
You guys see anything down there? Alright, let's... Pallets are back?
The music's good. I like the music.
Okay, let's get in there, get a shot of that. Yes, this is it. This is it. There's the rope swing. Right there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
You're shine it up big? Go all the way down it? Okay.
What the hell was that? No, I saw something move, dude.
Like how someone called you Jarbo in there.
That's what everyone knows me as. So that's my nickname around town. Like I don't have a first name in San Diego. I'm literally just known as Jarbo. Around like literally in like many different pockets of that city. That's what I'm known as. But what's funny is for those of you who have ever, you didn't see my terrible movie In Search Of, right?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Okay, so like we actually shot the night sequence. Anyone who has seen In Search Of, all right. Anyone who's seen In Search Of, when we get to the shirt, right? The shirt scene, that is, we're there. We're at 5-5. Okay. The Skywalker Brian says, my God, this is like Blair Witch campy vibes at camera. Yeah, well, we were just like, we were hamming it up quite a bit. We have flashlights. Yeah, exactly. There was some weird.
What year did you do this?
This was in 06. This was in 06. So this was a long time ago. This is like 16 years ago. We shot this here. The thing though, the thing about 5-5, I don't want to go through the whole thing. I'll just find the
Thank you.
The whole thing. Shut up. Yeah, like this. It's okay. Well, we did actually find this. This is real. We were out there doing some shots, and the gate is sealed. Right, the gate is absolutely sealed. It's locked shut. Right on the other side of the gate, there is this water main, and we found this water main just gushing.
We should alert the authorities.
And so we actually were like, ooh, we should probably go alert people. And so we just jumped in the car, drove out, found a sheriff, told the sheriff about it, and then like decided to wrap for that night and come back on another night. But like we got some footage and thought that it would work to kind of like tie it together.
Yeah.
But there, look at my hat.
Cockfight.
I bought that at a swap meet. 10 minutes later, trying to find the interview with me in it. There's Mark. And there we go. That's me.
We didn't really see much.
So, yeah, the beard looks like that. I never realized it looked like a rebel symbol before.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, a little bit.
It doesn't look intentional though.
No, it's not intentional. I'm not that much of a nerd.
Do you want to see something I did 13 years ago? It's only a minute and a half.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
just wanted to show you that because of the super chat. Someone else here, Matt with a pig on his head. Just it's pretty funny. People get whatever about it. All right. So
We just had a friend that wanted to learn how to shoot and edit something without crossing the axis and to overlap dialogue. So I like showed him in 10 minutes how to do it.
Nice. I miss the days of just doing like really, really stupid short films.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
my girlfriend's son's gonna come over and this weekend or the next weekend, and we're just gonna make a bunch of films like that.
nice. That's always a lot of fun. Gotta train the next generation somehow. All right, let's take a look at this.
Yo, dude, what the fuck? What about the power plant, dude? Just nuclear power. But did they have to destroy the car? No, get me a DeLorean. Yeah, I guess. We're gonna make ourselves a time machine. Dude! I don't like Star Wars, dude. No, what? I'm sorry. Alright, I'm sorry I don't think you're the smartest person in the world and that you can solve my problems. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Perfect words? Well, I can't offer you that, dude. I can't offer you the perfect answer all the time. Fuck you, dude. Nothing makes sense, man. Guess what? It's like 7:30, dude. No, you're educated. Dallas. I hate America. I hate everything about America.
What?
Stars and stripes. Blue, red, white. Huh? You just want to be flashy. It's a flashy country. Kinda want to get ice cream. At the bay. At the bayfront. The plutonium's what matters. Dude! Like Back to the Future.
I just got him to say random lines. That's him in both roles, by the way.
Yeah. No, that's it's interesting because when you're trying to like follow it, and then it's just like
Goes off the rails.
yeah, it just goes crazy
me.
and whatnot. Yeah, well, you're not that bad. You keep pretty structured. So, and anyway, you gave me another one here. It's only 20 seconds long. All right, this is from. Hold on, bring this up real quick here. We always like to talk about our old works. And everything,
Yeah.
but,
This
yeah.
is just
this is
something
called
I
"You
did.
Suck."
Yeah, it's just something I did for a friend that I used to play video games with at the studio.
All right. Is that Medal of Honor? Is that
Medal
what that
of
was?
Honor Heroes 2.
Oh, okay. Just telling someone he fucking sucks. I mean, well, you know what? You could say you did this, 14 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's, pretty standard now on the internet. You were a trendsetter, James, a trailblazer.
I was a pioneer.
The pioneer of shit posting. You should be very proud of yourself for that one.
I wish I still had the stuff that me and my friends made growing up. We made short films like every weekend, stop animation, you name it. It's lots of fun.
I wish my friends were into that growing up. My friends weren't. Like when I got into college, they were, because I'm taking film classes and we were all, but then it's like we were in that weird transitory phase where like the industry itself was transitioning, right? It was going from analog to digital. NLEs were more prevalent. I mean, like We were learning on they had Avid machines in the school, but like they only had like Final Cut on a couple different Macs. Otherwise, like they were using a linear editor. I forget what it was called. We called it Baby's First Editor because it was so simple. And then one day, my former roommate, because I first met him in school there, he comes to class and he's like, "Hey, check out this music video that I did." And he shot it. He did a music video to Harder, Better, Stronger, Faster. And it was really interesting. I thought he did a good job with it. I'm like, how the fuck did you do this? You know, how did you edit this? And he goes, "Oh, I use Adobe Premiere 3. And I'm like, what is that? Because I'd never heard of it before. And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's like you got, Photoshop, right?" I said, "Yeah." It's like, "Yeah, it's Adobe Premiere. It's like, it's their editor." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And he goes, "Here, I'll give it to you." So he burned it to a CD for me. And he gave it to everybody. So we all of a sudden now we're rocking, because before they remember, it was all Macs before then. Everyone had to have a Mac. Like this one kid, my very first class comes on in and he's got this like iMac and he's got Final Cut and he's got like this nice camera. His daddy bought it for him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a videographer. This is what I do by trade," type shit. And so the rest of us are kind of like, he was doing this to flex.
Yeah. Well, I had a friend like that. His dad. It's like, "Yeah, check out my toaster, my Amiga toaster." and I've got a scanner, and it's a camera on a tripod pointing down, and that's how we scanned his images.
Oh wow!
Back in the day.
I mean, as long as figuring out the best way to do it. That's the thing I always enjoy. Is like trying to do it, but it's like, so when we had this premiere, it was like, this is a game changer for everybody. But what sucked was the ingestion, because you had to. For those of you who don't remember, it's not like just taking a file off your phone or off of a camera.
Firewire.
Firewire.
RCA cables.
Oh yeah. God.
And when I used to teach editing at Toronto Film School, like, how many Firewire ports were blown out of those Macs?
I'm sure all of them. Because
the students didn't know how to use any of it.
Yeah. They're like, "What is this fire?" I remember like, I go online, like, I need a Firewire cable. Does it have a Firewire port? Like I looked for a laptop I wanted to get, and it's like, it needs Firewire. If it doesn't have Firewire, I can't do shit with it. I mean, even I've talked about this before, but in 2006, right after we shot that Legend of 5.5 documentary, I went to E3 and I had got a hotel room at the Ramada for 4 of us for 4 days. And we went up to that and I'm like, "Okay, but we're going to shoot video footage." This is, this is the year YouTube was coming out, right? First kind of getting known. And so I'm like, "All right, we got to get video footage while we're here," because none of the other companies are really doing it yet. Really, like they weren't. And so I brought my full-on PC, my CRT monitor, everything, set it up in the hotel room, and that is how we ingested footage and we edited footage. And then this is the thing I really hate about hotels. They don't really do it anymore. But you remember back in the day, they're just like, "Oh yeah, we got free Wi-Fi. We got Wi-Fi." Yeah. Except they had Wi-Fi. Sure, it was there, but it wasn't connected to anything.
Yeah.
You had to go down into the lobby to use any of the wireless. And so what I had to do was I had to wait until like 2:00 in the morning when the one computer in the lobby of the hotel was open to be able to go down there and upload the clips that I had already processed.
Unplug the Ethernet cable, put it in your computer.
No, I just put it on a thumb drive.
Oh, okay.
Because I couldn't bring my entire computer down there.
Yeah, I've been there when I was like 20, 21. I was head of media for the Arnold World Games in Battle of Columbus. Like I got that contract as a fluke, and I took my Mac G4 tower with me, and then we took our Canon XL1 with us, and that's what you had to do. You had to take it with you, so you plug it in, plug the Firewire in, and start editing.
Kids today, they got no fucking idea what it was like.
Oh, dude, I don't even go that. I go farther back and think about BBSs and dial-up internet.
Well, there's a great movie, kind of I know it's maybe not the greatest movie, but did you ever see The Last Broadcast?
No.
Oh my God, you've never seen The Last Oh.
Is that the one that's kind of meta and kind of scary?
Yeah.
I have it. I just haven't watched it.
Okay.
Yet. I got it around Halloween.
It came out in 99. it came out to home video. It came out right after the release of Blair Witch Project in theaters, like I think like 2 months later. And like it was actually being promoted. I worked at Hollywood Video at the time, and it was being promoted there as like this point of view found footage. Two guys go off into like the Jersey forest to do they do a public access show or like an internet show, but they use like the BBS and stuff to do it. And they're out there trying to find the Jersey Devil, and they both get fucking murdered. And like one person survives or whatever, and like they're trying to like, it's this documentarian trying to figure it all out. And it kind of feels like very early, like the kind of shit we would get in YouTube nowadays. It kind of feels like that in regards to like it being a bit of an essay, as well as trying to piece together what's going on. And like the movie's really interesting. It cost him $900 to make this movie, apparently. And it it ended up like, it apparently, according to what I read, I have to confirm this, but like it had been apparently the first movie to be digitally broadcast to theaters back in 99. Like they were able to get that broadcast through the web to theaters, streamed. And I got to look into that more. I've tried reaching out to the directors of that to see if like they'd want to like have a conversation.
Yeah.
They didn't get back to me.
Have you ever heard of Zot the Avenger?
Which one?
Zot the Avenger.
No.
He was back in like the early 90s, mid 90s. He did a public access television show in Arizona. And he would basically play video games and give codes out to kids. Like he was like the first streamer.
Okay.
Like way before Twitch or anything like that. And he was like pretty famous.
Like, are we talking like a Justin TV sort of thing, or like?
Yeah, here I'll send it. You can check it out. It's very interesting. And then like what he does now is very interesting. I've connected with this guy. I've talked to him a few times. So that's yeah. Let's see here. And now he live streams and he just talks to the camera about his problems and his car accident and stuff. It's very, very interesting. His name is JJ Styles now.
Okay, let me just bring this up on screen. Where is it? Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting to watch where things have gone in the last 20 years, you know? Like, because it's so weird to just kind of think about like what we had access to and what we, you know, like what went viral back then. Like this one guy that was like, oh, this girl will go out with me if I get like 100,000 views on this website, you know, and it went viral. Like we were talking about it in high school, you know, and just the little things like that you just were kind of blowing up at the time. Like I remember again, like Blair Witch Project had the website. A lot of us were talking about that in school. I remember showing people on the computer at school this website, like, holy shit, look at this sort of thing. And just like seeing how far the internet was going at the time, it's wild. So what is this? Is this like this them from his home or public television?
Public television from the studio. And then like one of his friends I actually met from playing Origami 2 online. They used to do a public access television show in the back of an alley of the studio at like from midnight to 6 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Pretty legendary in Arizona.
And if you don't, let me tell you a little bit about it. Basically, it's
and then like I don't know, now JJ said like he had a 3.5 hour live stream where he fell asleep on his couch with like a face mask on, like one of those mud masks.
Yeah.
And he just kept it up. Or like yeah, here I'll send you this one. You can check them out now.
Yeah. There's what's crazy is I mean, again, seeing it being done through public access, like I'm assuming public access is still a thing, right?
Yeah.
But it is
like
it is.
My old boss at the studio back home. He does a public access television show still every week.
Crazy. It sounds like a director commentary, kind of. Yeah. We're just talking like, again, James and I were old, man. You know, we're old. So who's this guy?
That's the kid with the video games.
Oh, this is him now.
That's him now. Yeah.
Wow.
Hey everybody,
Turn it up.
JJ from Bright Idea Records.
BrightIdeaRecords.com.
Rewind
The
it.
brightest minds in music whenever. Alright? Hey everybody, it's me, JJ from Bright Idea Records. At BrightIdeaRecords.com. The brightest minds in music whenever. Alright, so I'm sorry to flake out in that last video. I hate it when I have to stop a video like mid-roll. Like, you ever seen one of those music videos where they got like the camera and everybody's like lip syncing, like, I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night, that tonight's gonna be a good night, that tonight's gonna be a good night. You know, like, and then I think there was another one like, wasn't it to that LMFAO song? Fuck, when was the last time you heard those guys on the radio, right? Whatever. My point is, I hate stopping a camera mid-roll. Only problem is, I was getting kind of upset. I thought I was gonna smash my camera. And aren't you glad I didn't?
Okay, so I mean, like, this is just him now.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I mean, like, it's still, I mean, well, I give him credit for still doing it.
Oh yeah, no, like he played Metroid and he's played like Cyberpunk and stuff where he's taken apart like a Game Boy Advance and rewired it to get it working. Yeah, this is very interesting. I've talked to him a few times. I still talk to him. Asked him if he wanted to, do one-on-one live show or something to talk about the Avenger days. And he's like, well, this guy's still waiting on questions for his magazine from me. So he's like, maybe after that. I played Origami 2 with him a few times. He's a really cool guy. He's really down to earth. To me, it's fascinating that like there's another guy. It's fascinating that people broadcast their lives or their lives like this on YouTube. And he does it all on like archive.org, and he got banned from Twitch for some stupid comment. Then there's like the video game wizard. I came across this guy because I was looking for a clip for having faith in yourself, and he did this song. Oh man, you would love that. You would love that.
I think you talk about people who spend their whole lives, like on the internet and whatnot. Like, it's just, it's not like, I watch a bunch of like travel videos, but like what I've come to like, I like people when they explore places. I think that's a lot of fun. What I don't like is when it's people that are like, this is my everyday thing, and it's just they have to force themselves to make content.
Yeah, but like this video game wizard guy that I was talking about, he went from making content to actually just talking to people, and he has like this following. He just talks to them, and then they all like know what's going on in his life and his drama and everything.
Sure, I get that. I mean, there's things like people just like that. They like to just be involved, like I talk about, my life. I'll bring up my kids. Occasionally my daughter will like make an appearance and just, voice or whatever. But like I keep it relatively surface level, because like
I find it interesting the twist, like the trajectory of making content and then just going and talking to your audience as friends, I guess.
Well,
and,
I think
putting your life out there,
sure,
to the public.
But part of it too is like it's also like it's a trained thing, right? So if you spend all this time making content, and eventually, like, look, everyone goes into making content and to hopes to get to get seen, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying it needs to be big or blow up or be massive, but I mean just to be seen or whatever. But then after a while, it's like, like that guy 20 years ago was doing videos talking about like Nintendo and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's doing like this news show, like, yeah, this is what Nintendo's doing, and back then the way he was doing it was very unique, and it was not, it was before its time, so to speak.
Exactly. And that's what made me think of it, because you were saying that when I was doing that, you suck at MOHH2 is before its time. And like actually Zot the Avenger was actually that's a good example.
Well, do you remember Pure Ponage?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
you know, that or FPS Doug and like that stuff back in the day. The pure ponage guy was like big like in the gaming. I saw him at E3 in 06. The same year we were there waiting to play the Nintendo Wii in like a 4-hour line. And he was there, you know, because he was like he was like a micro celeb, you know, like you go to E3 and I'm walking around and I see like Gary Busey playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City for like his reality show on Comedy Central, or like there's Tony Hawk, or there was Stan Lee, and there was Gary Coleman just hanging out, you know, and all that stuff. And so it's like, but then now it's you know, like those people are known for a multitude of reasons. Now it's like you got these micro influencers. Like what was I was watching I was watching the Paw Patrol movie this morning with my kid, and in the opening of the movie, Mayor Humdinger, the bad guy, you know, ends up taking over this other city, and he's all like, esteemed members of the press and influencers with over 10,000 followers on social media, you know. But like I was kind of chuckling at that because, you know, kids today, right? You ask them like, what is it they want to be? And a lot of them say, I want to be a content creator. I want to be a YouTuber, you know? And it's like, I'm watching this shit, like, cause my kids watch it. And, you know, like these like family vlogs or whatever. And it's like the amount of content that these kids put out, it almost comes across like child exploitation, you know? And everything like, that's kind of what it feels like. And it's like that's where I think it's a little bit different. Like there comes, there's fame, there's influence, there's money, but man, at what cost? You know, it's like my, like I don't want my kids on camera, you know, for a multitude of reasons.
I wouldn't either. Yeah.
You know, but it's like some people have suggested, because both of my kids are adorable. I think you've seen both of my kids, because we're friends on Facebook.
Play that. It's hilarious.
All right. Let's see. Oh, there's this. All right, what is this one here? Oh, this, okay, this you're talking about there. All right. Hold on, let me find it.
Like, to me, this video should have more than 64,000 views. It should have at least 10 million views.
I mean, when did it come out?
16 years ago.
Oh, I mean, well, yeah.
This has got like, and then he just got his own video game store, and then that's when he just started making the live streams like that.
Okay.
Look all around you, what do you see? I see happy times and that we're all having. It's time for us to realize. Sing along the song with me, I'll show you how to me.
What the fuck?
Come along and follow me. I'll show you how to make to do yourself all the time.
It's brilliant, man.
No, it's good.
Sing along the song with me. I'll show you how to make a part of who you really are. Come along and follow me. I'll show you how to make to do yourself all the time.
It's Clark Gable if you ordered it from Wish.
I'll show you how to move. Drifting in the ocean.
One night we're gonna have to do a deep dive into some of these channels I found, man.
Probably. Probably. But we also lost like 30 viewers.
Oh well, who cares?
That's fine.
They're
That's
not.
fine.
They're not hardcore stands.
They're
of
not
Matt
hardcore.
Jarbo.
Yeah, no, we're just, well, I mean, there's a one, I want to show you guys this real quick. I can't find the original of this. Okay. I can't find the original of this, but this is, when I first moved to LA, I met a guy named Anthony Gomez. Anthony Gomez is the one who made this original parody. I think it's gone, but this is what, when I first met him, this was the very first YouTuber I had met who was paying his rent off of ad revenue earned from this parody. It had like over 4 million views, which is pulling
Back when
in
YouTube actually paid good.
back when they paid really good. And so he was able to pay his rent. He had a small 1-bedroom apartment in Studio City, and he was able to pay it just off of this. And it's a really interesting parody. He did a good job. We won't do the whole thing, but it's, you know, like, it's just like goes to show you that something can blow up, or, you know, and he could not in any way recapture this magic again. And now, as far as I know it now, he's left the internet largely. He left LA, went to San Diego. I think he like sells, like, he does salesmanship now. Like, you know, we actually tried launching a podcast that did not go anywhere, but yeah, anyway. I mean, this.
Yoshi!
I can see why it reminded you of that.
Yeah.
That went viral.
Yeah. Oh God, this thing was huge. Over 4 million views.
Wow. See, I'll take Video Game Donkey's Newgrounds Flash animations over that any day.
Yeah, but it was just a different. It was just a. I mean, I think it was just like the time. This was
timing,
like,
yeah, because the song.
2010, yeah. And he also, like, he shot, like, you know, he made all the little sets there. But where he went down to Universal City Walk in Universal City, and just like shot all the exterior stuff and whatever, and just threw it together, and it just blew up and shit. And, you know, we met through a mutual friend at the time and stuff. And then, it was just crazy. Yeah. Ralph Stibble-Tisser says just died of cringe. I mean, again, dude, looking at the way the internet was back in 2010, how YouTube was back then, this kind of stuff, like, we just didn't have the technology that we have now. So this is what people were doing.
And Reed Gold says, didn't the producer make the song intentionally bad? Well, yeah, just like the song we watched before this one, the Believe in Yourself song.
Yeah, it's just
supposed to intentionally be bad.
Yeah, it's kind of like when John LeJoe came out with, like, you know, show me your genitals, you know, your genitalia.
Or Tom Green. Yeah.
Yeah, right? I mean, there was just such a weird, it was just a different vibe. And, you know, I will say this, I kind of wish we could go back to that to an extent.
It would be nice.
Just to go back to, like, the weirder, over the top shit that we are used to seeing.
Well, like any art form, it gets corporatized, right? So
that's true. You know, I think, and that might be one of the reasons why, and you'll disagree entirely, but that might be one of the reasons why I find AI to be so fascinating.
Oh God, Matt.
I'm not going to go on a tangent about AI.
It is fascinating.
It's fascinating.
It's just the ethical implications.
Sure, but I mean, like, I pirated Adobe in order to be able to make shit. There's an ethical implication on that one as well.
Yeah, but did you ever buy it afterwards?
No.
Oh, well then. Yeah.
Well, I didn't buy that. I didn't buy that specific version of it.
No, but do you have a subscription to Adobe now?
No, I don't. I know, but I do. No, I don't. I don't.
What do you use, DaVinci?
No, I need to. I have it. Do I have it downloaded? I have Blender downloaded. I've just never really messed around with it.
Blender's free though.
Yeah, I know. But I do have Camtasia. What I normally use is Camtasia.
What do you edit on?
Camtasia.
Oh, okay.
It's an easier editor. I like it. It's like lighter on resources and whatever. I mean, it's basic. It gets shit done. I can do a lot with it, but it is what it is. And I pay like $50 a year for that. Because they offer me like I get the free upgrade for 50. Well, not free. I get
You could
the
spend
upgrade.
$40 a year to get the whole Adobe Premiere suite.
$40 a year or $40 a month?
40. Sorry, yeah, $40 a month.
Yeah. I pay for.
Well, I'd rather have access to Premiere, Adobe Animator, Photoshop, all that stuff, and then all the stock that you get with it too.
Well, sure. See, my girlfriend pays for Canva, access to Canva, right?
Yeah.
And that's $12 a month, and they have like a deal with Getty, so I get all the stock footage from that, and I use that when I do like the true crime stuff. I'll just do that in Canva. Yeah. And I just import in all the stock footage. It's already on their server, and I can just edit it right there and have that ready to go.
Yeah. See, my go-to is Envato. I really like that.
What is it?
Very surprised.
What is it?
Here, I'll type it out.
Okay. Ray here says I would watch John LeJoe on repeat. Edgelord humor ruled the 2000s. I know, like what happened, right? God, it's like. It's like I was today on Twitter, like there was some insufferable individual is I think the best way to describe them. Some insufferable individuals like going off about Brendan Fraser winning for The Whale. And I'm like, you just seem fun at parties, Yeah. Because you suck the fun out of everything.
Oh yeah. There's like a comic book artist that I was friends with on Facebook for a long time, but it's just like, yes, we know Mando just dropped.
Yeah, I know. I know it's I know what time it is.
But good thing it's not live. Anyways, so I was friends with him for a long time, and it's just like every comment I saw that he would post, it's just he would suck the air out of everything. Like if it was what was the joke? I can't remember. Oh, it was Jurassic Park where he throws a stick of wood at the electric fence, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, here's a scientist, and he throws wood at an electrified fence. And then that one guy had like a long explanation how that was true and stuff. I'm like, dude, it's just a joke. Relax. Every comment was just taking the air out of the room. I just don't have mental real estate for those kind of people.
I mean, like
that's why, like when you're talking the other night about the fat suit thing with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Is that really a thing? Are people really talking about that?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Or like the bat bra in the Flash trailer. Like Edward wrote an article about that. I'm like, is that really a thing?
Oh, he wrote. I would mock him for writing that article, right? Like, because
he wrote that article saying basically what I just like. Is this really a thing?
Oh, okay. Well, if I thought he was like, well, wasn't it also in part because like you guys are on your podcast? The other guy that's on there, Sean, was like, say, once Batman's in armor, he's not Batman. And you guys were kind
of
talking,
I like the debate about that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really necessarily feel like having a chest protection is like, what I would necessarily worry about on that specific scenario. But then again, it's like I'm sorry, the Dark Knight Returns armor that he wears is awesome.
Oh yeah,
and I loved it in BVS.
Well, you have to understand that, like Sean worked on Justice League Unlimited and Batman Beyond for years, right? And Superman the animated show. So he's been able to like really dissect what the character is. But I think it was that show you were listening to where I was just like, well, what if he needs to wear armor so he doesn't die because a lot of lives are at stake? And that kind of like he's like, yeah, he admitted that's okay. But
well, I think oftentimes you can probably bend your whatever argument you have, bend it enough to like fit whatever scenario, like, all right, well, on this one moment. Yeah. I think, oh my God, what? Hold on. Spherical Man says, speaking of Jurassic Park, did you see that Mahler and the EFAP crew had Robert Meyer Burnett on this weekend and did a 7-hour breakdown of Jurassic Park? And Robert Meyer Burnett actually said he likes and admires Mahler's long form movie breakdowns.
The only person I know of those comments is RMB.
Okay. So Mahler is an insufferable tool. And he does like these extremely long breakdowns of movies. You watch Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When they went to 838 and they're walking and they get to the stop and the red and green is reversed, you understood the concept that they were going for with that, right?
Yeah.
It's simple. It's a simple just reversal to showcase that we live in that we're in a different world. He lost his mind at that. He simply did not understand, could not comprehend why red and green were reversed. It was just it broke him.
Well, people find something new every day that they didn't know, though.
I just find it to be so. No, this guy is like. Imagine imagine the most annoying person at a party. You know, when you're talking about something and they're just like, I don't know, they droll on and on and on, but it's just but to be fair, they do these like 11-hour streams and they'll get like 8,000-9,000 people watching. You know?
Well, is this the one with 443,000 subs?
Yeah.
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 I don't see a live a live tab on their channel though.
They do the live streams. Yeah, that's kind of what they're known for. Maybe they have a clip out channel, I think, as well. I don't know. I simply don't watch them. I know that I'm on their. I know that I'm on. They've talked about me a few times. So like on their website, there's like I have a section.
Yeah, now I've seen this channel before because the capital L in the name that brought it back. Yeah, I haven't watched any though. So
Saggy's in the chat. She says hi. She's
hey Saggy.
Feel free to mute her if she continues. I'm just saying it's like, but those guys are largely insufferable. But then again, also Robert Meyer Burnett recently said, praised Nerderotic for how he critiques media. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I don't understand. I think Robert Meyer Burnett has some solid takes. I think he is an insightful person. I do like listening to him talk about the industry. I do not understand how a person who loves the medium as much as he does can willfully associate with people who do everything in their power to tear it the fuck down, who have never, ever tried to even get remotely involved in the medium. Like, does that ever just kind of like break your brain a little bit? Like, you and me, maybe we're not filmmakers as much as we'd want to be, but we still have gone to school. We've worked on stuff. We've put in our time to an extent.
I've spent 20 years in the film industry.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it's like, people like you have a solid understanding of things. It's just, you have the experience. Like you are a subject matter expert as far as like Robert Meyer Burnett's a subject matter expert. He's worked on a bunch of stuff. Like he gets it. These guys have never done it. They just sit back and they go like, yeah, it's woke. Well, what about it's woke? I don't understand. What about this is woke? Oh, yeah, there's a black woman. What is she doing? She's there. That's woke. That's woke. It's identity politics.
April O'Neil was originally black in the comic.
That's actually not true. I actually looked it up. No, I looked it up. Peter Laird has actually come out and debunked that.
I was just setting you up, Matt.
No, I know. It's a thing. It's a thing. People, man, they just like, it's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, I don't know anything about I don't really pay attention to a lot of that stuff on Twitter or whatever. I'm just too busy. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with people.
People are weird. People are strange. When you're a stranger. So, I don't know.
Go watch The Lost Boys now.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so it is after midnight, so I do want to wind it down here pretty soon. Couple quick little things to.
You gonna go watch Once Upon a Time in Mexico?
No, I'm not. No, because at this point, if I don't get out of here, I probably won't even watch Mando tonight, just because I need to try to get some sleep. Because, daylight savings messes you up the older you get. It takes days to get over that shit. Like, I went out to do delivery driving tonight.
Yeah.
And I leave the house at 6. Usually it's dark. And it was light. And I'm like, this is weird. And then I go and I wait. And the thing is, though, because I live in the Northwest, people are usually, are used to eating when it's dark. So now we're in that first week past then. And it was just dead for an hour and a half. Nothing came in that was of any value. It was like $2 to go 10 miles. I'm like, I'm not doing that for your Dairy Queen. All right, pound sand and shit. And it's just like, but people, it's just that weirdness of it. Our bodies react to that shit. I don't know. Do you guys observe daylight savings in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always messes up my time calculation with Edward because they don't change it at the same time over in France.
Well, it's like I think Vermont and Arizona don't observe it as well. So you're just like, or I know Arizona definitely doesn't observe it. So it's like it's just so weird, you know. And like everyone in the country is like, can we just do something about it? And our government's like, no.
I love it. I love it.
Why?
Because the days last longer. Yeah.
I mean, do they?
There's pros and cons to it. I read a lot about it recently, and there's pros and cons. Like,
I mean,
especially with mental health, but I like it being lighter out, and it makes sense for spring too. Like it's 6 o'clock and the sun's still out. That's great instead of it being 6 o'clock and it's pitch dark. So
I don't know. I like the dark.
Dude, you see my live streams. I never have lights on in my house.
Yeah,
but I do like the sun.
I mean, like I've got what do I have right now? I'll like just like this, you know. And this is comfortable for me to sit like this. It is just like, but it's like if I bring up like another, you know, I don't like having lots of lights on. It just kind of throws me off. Although I look like right there. Yeah, look at you got the lights on you. Yeah, you know, I just like to sit in the dark, brooding. I look like a fucking villain, man.
You do.
Yeah. You guys can't even see my face. Just a dark silhouette to suck away all your joy. There's my teeth, though. There we go.
All right, I'm going to go.
All right, man. Yeah, you go. I'm just going to finish up here and then go to bed myself. So, all right. Thank you, James, for coming on. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me.
And we'll talk again. We'll talk again soon.
We'll have to do a YouTube rabbit hole one night.
Yeah. All right. Get out of here, man.
Bye.
Get.
Go watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I will give it a watch. I'll give it a watch. Thank you, James. Small screen. Check them out. Podcast on Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday. I forget when their podcast is. You know what? He'll tell me in the chat there. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's see here. There was, you know what? Reed did ask to check out the Bigfoot Unsolved animatic. I do have that up here. We'll check that out. Maybe not the full. How long is it? It's God, this thing is like 5 minutes long, whatever. I'm just waiting to see if I'm going to end up getting caught in a copyright loop. That's my whole thing. I just don't want to get hit with that. Very annoying. But we'll take a look at this. We'll make a minute or two of this, and then we'll get back to the HWAD Squad Unplugged. Finish answering guys' questions, and we'll call it a day on that one.
This is Willow Creek, the Bigfoot capital of the world.
It's a beautiful town.
And this is where we're staying. What do you think?
Is this a joke? This is the one chance we get to stay with someplace nice.
And Willow
All we
Creek?
do is sleep in haunted places, in dirty old hospitals. We can't stay one place nice once.
But how often do you get to say you were a part of history, which is what we're about to be? We're about to etch ourselves in the stone of Bigfoot lore.
You
Are you excited about
you
that?
could etch yourself, sir.
Well, it was supposed to be fun. This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we seek out the ever-elusive Bigfoot, and tomorrow morning, search for him ourselves. We've got our ridiculous Bigfoot beards ready to go. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get into it, and let's, me and you talk some foot.
I'm excited. This is maybe the only time I believe in the thing that you're talking about.
Really?
Bigfoot's, meat and bone.
I'm not the biggest believer in Bigfoot.
Why would you be? It's plausible and grounded in reality. So it's a lot more plausible than all your spooky little specters.
Well, those have evidence, so anyway.
Sure they do. Let's talk foot.
Okay. The first accounts of big, strong, hairy people date from at least the 15th century in Caucasus, a mountain region between Asia and Europe. Different cultures have different versions or perhaps relatives of this creature. In the Himalayas, it's the Yeti. In Australia, it's the Yowie. In Indonesia, it's the Ibu Gogo. And for America, primarily the Pacific Northwest, it's Bigfoot, or Sasquatch. In fact, Bigfoot sightings have been reported in almost every U.S. state. This corroborates the belief that there is more than one Bigfoot, that it's not a singular creature, but a species.
I don't think Foot's walking around.
I'm just gonna say it. I think Bigfoot is an interdimensional being. You know what I mean? Right? I think it's an interdimensional being. If I had to guess, if I had to speculate, if I had to talk upon that, that's how I see that. Right? Just it makes the most amount of sense. Just saying. But all right, we'll continue it though.
Illinois. Who are these people in Wisconsin saying, yeah, there's a Bigfoot there?
There may very well be a hot dog vendor in Chicago who is a Bigfoot.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you heard me.
Do you imagine Bigfoot as someone who walks around in disguises?
Well, some people believe that he's just like this supernatural being, or he or she or whatever it may be, and it's just one of them, solo act.
That's dumb. It's not supernatural, it's natural.
Like Sting.
It's like Sting?
Sting's a solo act.
Sting's not supernatural, though. If you stab Sting with a knife, Sting will bleed.
You're probably right. The hunt for Bigfoot became a global phenomenon and inadvertently turned Willow Creek into arguably the #1 destination for squatchers and Bigfoot enthusiasts worldwide. There's places like Bigfoot Books, the Bigfoot Steakhouse, murals, and even a Bigfoot burger. How often do people actually put down a Bigfoot burger by themselves? Imagine it's nap time after one.
It's nap time for me after, yeah. So you got 2 1/3 patties, and on top of that, when you get done with the burger, after we put all the veggies and everything on it, weighs about 1.5 pounds.
We'll try our best.
Oh, I'm not gonna try my best. I'm gonna finish that thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm finishing it.
You've said it. I'm gonna eat that burger. I'm gonna stay in that haunted house all night.
Whatever. I think I may need to go to the hospital. So this is actually the local museum in Willow Creek. It's the Willow Creek China Flat Museum. There's a lot of interesting Bigfoot artifacts in there that I think you will find particularly interesting because you're such a big believer.
Yes.
You can see the big statue, probably one of your great-grandfathers back in the day.
I'm not a Bigfoot.
That's Albus Madej right there.
I'm a human being.
Okay.
First encounter, or first, shall I say, story that I ever heard was search and rescue came down from Oregon, said they were looking for a little boy that had been lost in the woods, 4 years old, didn't find him the first night, but the second day they found him sitting alongside the road, and when they picked him up, all he could talk about was the big hairy man that had picked him up, brought him down, and sat him down along the road.
What?
So, yeah, and I don't think a little kid is going to talk about a hairy man. And I mean, there's thousands of encounters. All these people cannot be telling a story.
What personal interactions have you seen with Bigfoot? Like, have you seen tracks? Have you seen him himself?
I've not seen one, and I don't want to. Thank you very much.
Is that because you're scared of Bigfoot?
Well, I think you just want to believe it's out there, but you don't really want to see it.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I would love to see it.
Lucky for us, we're staying near Six Rivers Forest, arguably the most famous Bigfoot forest in the world. Come tomorrow morning, we'll be there. So maybe we may run into the infamous creature himself.
All right. I mean, that was pretty good. That was pretty solid. A lot of I live in the Northwest, so like Bigfoot's a thing here. Like Bigfoot is just like our mascot. He's our champion. He is the person we send to the interdimensional council of monsters, the Bigfoot. But it's one of those weird things where you look at Bigfoot and you're like, all right, man, like, is this real? Like, it'd be cool, but you'd probably not real and everything else. That's why I wanted to write a story about Bigfoot becoming an assassin for the CIA. It's grounded in reality. Why not have a cryptid part of our national defense force, we got to find ourselves the Loch Ness Monster. Use it to hunt out the fucking deep sea submarines by the Nazis. Right? Imagine that would have been a thing, right? What if they harnessed the power of Loch Ness, a freshwater fucking paleosaur, and used it to hunt down U-boats during World War II. That's another original idea of mine that could make a good Tubi movie, Let's see here. Bigfoot believes in using every part of the animal, which is why we can't find traces of his hunts. Yeah, sure, why not? Or just jumps around, That'd be a bucket. That'd be a 350. That'd be 350. God damn it, Loch Ness Monster, I done giving you no 350. It's just a time-traveling Chewbacca. There we go. John here says, humans are genetically engineered from Bigfoot. That's right. That's good stuff there. Genetically engineered from Bigfoot. There we have it, folks. All right, let's get back in. Let's kind of wind this thing down here. Talking about some HWAD Squad Unplugged stuff here. Jess asking, what's one movie you regret watching? I don't think I really regret watching any movie. I think like there's like movies I would love to watch again for the first time. You know, I would argue to maybe some extent, like The Last Jedi is one I regret watching only because it just like, it's so painful, you know, but even that's kind of hyperbolic to say out loud. But no, I don't think I have a movie I regret watching. Because I do try to find intrinsic value in all of them. Even if I don't like them, I try to find value. There's, again, Last Jedi. There's a lot that I don't like about it narratively. But production design, special effects, score, visual effects, there's good stuff in that movie. Narratively, it just bothers me. So that's kind of how I view things, but thank you. Isaac here brings up thoughts on the Room remake. Are you talking about the Bob Odenkirk take on that they're doing for charity? Because you can't remake The Room. Don't even try to remake The Room. If you try to remake The Room, you're just going to be, no, it's bad. Thank you. Samir says, asking how much to sponsor to get you to finally watch Eternals. Hold on. Let me look here. I'll give you an answer to that. Eternals, 2021, runtime. What's the runtime on that, right? What's the runtime? Okay, runtime for Eternals is 2 hours and 37 minutes. We talking a solid $125. That's the base right there. That's the base. 50 an hour. All right, I'll cut it. HWAD says, what's one movie everybody hates but you love? A lot of them. I mean, defines, I guess, everybody hates. Oh God, which one? So many. It's the problem is there's so many that I like, you know? I mean, critically speaking, there's a lot of like people hate Snakes on a Plane. I love Snakes on a Plane. People hate, you know, like Uwe Boll movies. I liked Postal quite a bit. Actually, I thought it was actually pretty solid, you know? There, I've watched his movies for enjoyment purposes, not because not because they suck, but because, I mean, they do suck, but it's like, try to find enjoyment. You know, I love movies like The Core because they're so dumb, they're fun. You know, I love Roland Emmerich movies. A lot of people don't like Roland Emmerich movies. You know, I think that's kind of really about it. There's really like, it's difficult on that specific front because there's a lot that I like that people don't like, and there's lots that I don't like that people like. Like, I really fucking hate Juno. I think it's a bad movie, but people out there seem to like it. All right. So Darth Scipio here brings up a very interesting point. Says, hey, Matt, I want you to address the hypocrisy of right-wing YouTubers regarding the treatment of Brie Larson and Gina Carano. The venom these people have for Larson is beyond me, man. Even YouTubers I respect, like Mr. H Reviews and Polly of Latino Slant, have been shitting on her because she's mad the Marvels is not Captain Marvel 2. I would be pissed off too. They still have this obsession with Carano, a no-talent actress that Nerdrotic dismissed Cara Dune as a shitty character and actress. Okay, so thank you for that, Darth. But let me explain this in this one, right? So Brie Larson had the audacity to say, if you are a white man, I don't care what you think about A Wrinkle in Time. That's basically about it. She was talking about the equality between reviewers, right? In regards to like who gets a seat at the table to an extent, as well as people who that a movie was specifically aimed for reviewing that movie. Which, here's the thing, in another subject, she wouldn't have been wrong. I'll give you guys a primary example. Do you remember when The Witcher came out? Right? Remember when The Witcher came out and Entertainment Weekly gave it a 0 out of 10? And the guy who reviewed it, Darren something or another, was just like, maybe it was Darren, I forget. But like the guy who reviewed it was all like, oh my God, I couldn't even make it into past like 2 episodes. The show was terrible. I fucking hate it. Don't watch it. And everyone's like, the fuck is wrong with you? You fucking whiny little bitch. He did the same thing for another show too. I forget which one it was. He did the same thing for another show. Is another show that he gave a terrible review to. And I'm like, this guy doesn't even finish watching the shows he reviews. But because of that, right? That's what Brie Larson just wanted. She's like, look, if you are a young African-American girl, right? Or a young girl in general, A Wrinkle in Time is more aimed at someone like you. If you're a young girl of color, A Wrinkle in Time is more aimed at you. I want to know what you think, not what some 40-year-old, Trisket thinks, right? And I get that. That makes sense from her perspective. But you may also want to know what some 40-year-old Trisket thinks about that. I'm a 40-year-old Trisket, and you guys may want to know what I have to say about some kind of shit. But at the end of the day, it's like that's what she was saying. And then like Brie Larson is just awkward and in some like capacity kind of like unlikable, like in group settings. But and then that's like kind of a bit of a step too far. I have nothing against Brie Larson, to be fair. But like, everything that happened with the Endgame, press tour and stuff, all the people she was with had camaraderie. All the people she was with had been together for years. They have a way about them. They have got in jokes. They've got the camaraderie. They've got the brotherhood, sisterhood, family. They're familial with each other, very familiar. She's a newbie with only one scene really with all of them. And then she pops up again at the end of the movie, and that's really about it. She doesn't have that kind of connection to them that they have with each other, and that, quite frankly, the audience has with that. So she's going to come across as a bit awkward. And they use that and they weaponize that. Gina Carano, they hated at first because her character beat up the Mandalorian in the fight that they had. And then they hated her. But then she comes out and she's all like, mask mandates are bad. Vaccine mandates are bad. The election was stolen. Beep, bop, boop. Your pronouns mean nothing to me. Okay. And people were like, hey, listen, we disagree. And so again, it's like she was told, shut the fuck up. I don't care if she comes out and she says, listen, fuck masks, fuck vaccines. Personally, I think masks worked. I think they helped. I think vaccines help. I'm very much in support of that. Not a problem. But when she's out there spreading stuff about election fraud, misinformation at a very tumultuous time, she added, in essence, to what happened on J6. She added her platform. Very much added to people out there believing Trump's lies, the big lie that we now know is completely, we've all known that it's fucking full of shit, right? But she out there was echoing and parroting those statements that were malicious actions of misinformation, in my opinion. And then when she comes out and she basically does that whole reposting of that meme about Jews in World War II, that was what did it. That was what did it. Because even though she's like, I was really just trying to say that maybe we shouldn't have neighbor against neighbor. Well, then the rest of us are like, well, then maybe you should have found a different fucking metaphor, you insipid fool. Were you knocked around too many times in the head in UFC? Were you just like, what would prompt you? What would compel you? What would make you think that tweeting that out or posting it to your Instagram is like, yeah, this is going to set the message straight. She nuked her own career and they used her like a useful idiot. That's the right-wing hypocrisy. Brie Larson said something that had some context that nobody wanted to hear at the time. And she is awkward with people she doesn't have camaraderie with. Just saying. That's really about it. But that has been, even the Quartering has said, Nerdrotic has said, I think Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers has said that Brie Larson is algorithmic gold. So it doesn't matter that she doesn't like it. It doesn't matter. If she has an opinion on anything, they're going to use it against her. And I understand that because I did the same thing with like Anita Sarkeesian back in the day. Now I think she's largely insane, whatever, but I should have handled it differently. I should have tried looking at it more objectively. All right. But I added to that problem myself. I'll fully admit that. But Brie Larson is just Brie Larson. She is not a bad person. She's not out to get you. She's not out trying to shut down stuff. But they made her public enemy number one because there's a lot of rampant misogyny out there. And then when the woman is on their side, they champion her to the heavens and back, like they did with Brie Larson or with Gina Carano. So thank you. Gina was an attractive, useful idiot. Yeah, I'd say that's about it. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. You know, I mean, that's not really what it boils down to. You know, the hate of Brie Larson mirrors the love of Gina Carano. Kind of, yeah. It's probably like that. So, anyway, there is, all right. Did I miss anything tonight? I don't think I did. It's kind of a chill night. There's a couple stories I wanted to get to just because how late it is. We'll get to tomorrow. You know, the whole thing with like Batman and there's, the stuff with like the Nancy Meyer, situation at Netflix that we might get more info as time goes on that one there. I know a lot of you guys want to watch Mandalorian. By all means, head off and watch Mandalorian. I need to get my ass to bed because the kids got class in the morning. God, I love that my children get education. I love it. I just so sleepy all the time. So sleepy. I'm going to do the Batman stuff tomorrow, buddy. We got a little bit too distracted with James, and that's all good. That's okay. That's what happens in Hollywood After Dark all the time. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great night. Thanks again for watching, and peace out.